If you're a huge sports fan like me, then you've noticed how there has been the implementation of more technology in the sports of today. That can range anywhere from soccer to baseball to NASCAR to realistically anything that can be a competition and is a competition. So I figured we would go over a few things and see where we stand on the topic. So for me, it's kind of a 50-50, right? So technology has its goods and technology has its bads. Everybody knows that, everybody's aware of that. It's really just deciding on what side of the fence you want to stand on. For me, I think technology is an amazing invention, and the implementation of technology in sports honestly is seamless. It's honestly just the natural progression of the sport. So, back when these sports were initially founded and started, obviously technology wasn't around. So it was a lot of human error. And with that being said, you had things ranging from penalties being called when they weren't supposed to be called, balls when it's supposed to be a strike, when referring to baseball. But over the course of my research, what I've noticed is there's mixed reviews. So there's more than one form of technology in sports right now. Most people think when sports are brought up and technology right along with it, that is referring to replacing the human aspect of the sport. So one of the things that's cool to notice, and the Ohio University points out, as well as the CAS America Chemical Society, they point out that these inventions of technologies being invented to interact with athletes is helping to improve not only the sport but the health of the athlete and the protection of the athlete. So if you think about it from that perspective, you're seeing people wear the undershirts that have the heart monitor trackings. You have people wearing compression sleeves. That's a technology that was invented to help with blood flow and circulation to the muscles. You see it from day-to-day activities. Even we can go as far as the technologies for the knee braces for linemen in football. It really transcends kind of what you want to think about. So then you look at, not to give whiplash or anything, but we look at the implementation of these technologies coinciding with the technologies that help judge the sport a little bit better and help the referees. This stems from recent things. I'm a huge baseball fan, so I'm going to talk about baseball a little bit for a second if you'll stick with me. So there's a thing called ABS system. It is something that was toyed around with last season, and now it will be fully implemented in the 2026 season. Essentially, it is an automatic ball or strike system. So it's going to replace the referee that stands behind the plate that calls balls and strikes. There's going to be no more gray area now. It's either in the box and it's a strike, or it's out of the box, it's a ball. There's really no gray area. That's going to make it a lot harder on the athlete. However, it's going to make the game more fair across the board. And this is seen by the MLB. They've posted several things about it. They have been very transparent on what their intentions with the ABS system is. And it's essentially to eliminate the human error of the game and make it fair across the board. Another thing that can be seen with technology integration into sports would be soccer, if you keep up with that, or football, however you want to call it, if you're European. But you have the VAR system, which is essentially a virtual assistant referee. So that system, essentially, if there's any question on the field of what the card, either it be yellow or red is, they'll review, or even if it's an offside or it's an on goal or anything related to a flag or a penalty in soccer, what they'll do is they'll pull up the VAR system and they'll essentially just review that play, and it'll help them make their decision on what it is. So, like I said, just to re-implement at the beginning, I am for technology in sports. I think it's going to make everything a little bit more even across the board. Thank you.